All right, guys, we are back with round two hat format at Epic Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We got two YCS champions going at it. Myself on the left playing Sylvans versus YCS champion Dennis Nadas on the right playing Mythic Rulers. we both round we both won round one, so but it's rare when we get two YCS champions going at it, so that's why I decided to feature us instead. Usually I get the people who are like fighting to stay in the tournament, where whoever wins here is just going to move on 2-0. Still has a chance to make top cut. Anyways, let's get to the duel. I Foolish Hermitry, and then activate Miracle Furt, target Hermitry. So this tournament was 4 rounds of Swiss, cut to top 8. I think we had like 20-something players, 21, 24. I think it might have been 24. Yep. So now Dennis chains Maxi, and then I activate Sylvan Charity. So I'm going to go over these two cards real quick. First card is Maxi. Dennis chains it. It's a quick effect during either player's turn. You can discard it from your hands to the graveyard. And for the rest of the turn, each time your opponent special summons, you draw 1 card. So Sylvan Charity is a spell card for Sylvans. You draw 3 cards. Yes. You draw 3 cards. Then you put 2 back on the top of the deck. You have to reveal at least 1 Sylvan card, and you rearrange them in any order you want. So then you saw me here. What I did was I activated Sylvan Hermitry's on-field effect, which you excavate the top card of your deck. If it is a plant monster, it goes to the graveyard and you draw 1 card. And then since Hermitry has an effect when it's excavated, I excavated Hermitry, which rearranges the top 3 cards of your deck. No, basically you look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You don't have to show your opponent. And you rearrange them in any order. Now that effect is an effect that I've been starting to use more. It's something that I kind of underestimated. It's actually very, very strong because you can manipulate what you want to draw for your turn, or what you want to excavate off of your off anything. So yeah, I need to start using that card more often. The excavation effect. So here I'm using Dennis activates Dragon Shrine, which is a foolish burial for dragons. But I think you can only activate 1 Dragon Shrine per turn. You foolish any dragon from your deck, but you can also send a normal dragon type monster. So it's like a double foolish, which is really big in this deck because you need dragons to use the power of the Dragon Ruler, since they're all limited to 1. All the big 4 Dragon Rulers are limited to 1. The babies are banned, so yeah, you saw here he dumps Flamevale Guard and Title. So those of you guys who are wondering, I'm going to just go over the Dragon Rulers. They all have 3 effects, but you can only use each effect per turn. And they return to your hand during your opponent's end phase. Well, here comes Soul Charge from Dennis. And I chain Vanity's Emptiness, which neither player can special summon. It's a trap card, continuous trap card. It's like the oppression of hat format, but some people would say it might be better in some scenarios. Alright, so Dennis normal summons Curry Bandit, which Curry Bandit, the turn it is normal summoned. During the end phase, you can tribute it and excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 of the spell and traps you excavated to your hand, and the rest go to the graveyard. So he's going to add Burial. We know Burial. And, yep. So a lot of times I bring out my big monsters in defense mode just to play around the hands. So here, you see here, I rearranged last turn to where I wanted to, I knew what I was going to draw, and my plan was to excavate the green tree with Hermitry, so then I draw my 3rd card, and the Hermitry, the green tree, when it's excavated, you add a Sylvan Spell Trap card from your graveyard to your hand. So you saw here, I set it up the previous turn. I knew exactly what I wanted to draw, what I wanted to excavate, and I wanted to Sylvan Charity him again. So then I used Miracle Fertilizer again to bring back another red tree. So I stacked another Charity and the Curry Bandit because I'm probably not going to use those cards. You can only activate 1 Sylvan Charity per turn. And since I can't normal summon, I'm not going to... since I can't normal summon, I'm not going to summon Curry Bandit. So now I'm just excavating for Hermitry. Hermitry's... You can use each different Hermitry's effect on the field. And... yeah, I'm not going to draw any cards. But if you don't hit a plant, they go to the bottom of the deck. So now activate another Miracle Furt. Yeah, Dennis, maybe he's not too familiar with some of these cards. Dennis told me he started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like right after Hat format. Maybe during Necros format or should all be A format. All right. So now this is actually exactly 8,000 on the field. So I could like make some plays, but this is just 8,000. Yeah. Most decks don't play much defense. Like they don't play Swift Scarecrow or Rainbow Karibo or stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go for game. Like you got something, you have Gores, all right. But right there, Dennis did not have anything, so I take game one. Now remember, we're both 1-0, so loser's not out of this tournament yet. But they're gonna have to win at least a few more rounds. Luckily, it was 4 rounds top 8 and not 5 top 4. So Dennis goes first. Normal summons Curry Bandit. We already explained Curry Bandit game 1. So he's going to excavate top 5. At the Gold Sark, the other 4 go to the graveyard. Yeah, Gold Sark is good because you Gold Sark a Dragon Ruler and their other effects when they get banished trigger. So here comes Terraforming, Search a Field Spell, the Mount Sylvania. Some of you guys may be wondering, this is going to be my signature map from here on out. This is the mat that I got from Epic. So, activate Sylvan Charity, draw 3. Yeah, some of you guys may be wondering, you can only activate 1 Sylvan Charity per turn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that card would be ridiculous if you activate more than 1. So yeah, I'm going to return Sylvania. Maybe I have 2. Sometimes I draw 2 of them. But you can also get Sylvania back with the Sage Koya if you excavate it. The Sage Koya is a big green tree. Hermit Tree is a big red tree. Alright, so yeah, you can see here I put the green tree and the field spell. And I'm a... So remember, you just have to show them your opponent, but they don't have to know the order in which you do them. Alright, and here I believe I'm going to use Blaster's in-hand effect. So yes, Blaster, remember all the Dragon Rulers have 3 effects. So I'm using the in-hand effect. I can discard Blaster and any other fire monster from my hand to target any card on the field and destroy. You can do your own cards too if it matters. Anyway, then it's Chains Max C. We already went over Max C. He's going to draw a card when I special summon. He chains Max C to my Miracle Furt, so he's going to draw a card. Yeah, he's going to draw a card when I special summon my Hermitry, but will I summon it in attack mode or defense mode? You can see here that's what I'm debating, because I know Dennis plays hands, so I choose to summon it in defense, it looks like. Yep. Activate Hermitry's effect, excavate the Sage Koya. I'm going to draw the field spell, because remember, that's how I rearranged it. Then the Sage Koya is going to activate. When it's excavated, I'm going to add a Sylvan Spell Trap. I add Charity. So you saw that it was all set up earlier. Now we activate the field spell. And the field spell, you can send 1 face-up plant-type monster from your field or your hand to put any Sylvan card on top of your deck. So sometimes what I'll do is, like, if I have Upstart in my hand, I'll put Sylvan Charity on top of my deck if I really need it. And I'll Upstart into Sylvan Charity. Or if you have Curry Bandit. That's another thing I did recently. So, like, if I have Curry Bandit and my hand sucks, like, I'll use Sylvania, stack Charity, summon Curry Bandit, tribute Curry Bandit, so at least I guaranteed I can have the option to add Sylvan Charity to my hand for next turn. Alright, so we're both at 8,000 here. Dennis's graveyard is filled with Dragon Rulers. He activates Gold Sark. So he's going to Gold Sark probably a Dragon Ruler here. So remember, the Dragon Rulers all have 3 effects. They have a... Basically, they have the special summon themselves effect. They have an effect when they're banished, and they have an effect in the hand. And right now, Dennis is activating the effect for Blaster when it's banished to add any fire dragon monster from his deck to his hand. So now for the rest of the turn, he can't use Blaster. Even if he had another one, he couldn't use it. He couldn't use the special summon effect or the discard from hand effect. Because we saw someone do that in a video previously. Luigi, shout out to him. He used Redox's in-hand effect and then special summoned it at the same turn. So Dennis activates Soul Charge, and I chain Vanity's Emptiness. Kind of the same thing that happened game one. So now I'm going to decide during the end phase, do I flip Mount Sylvania? Or sorry, do I excavate for Sylvania? I mean, I know what I stacked, right? I know what I stacked for this field spell. So I'm debating on using the field spell during the end phase. Okay, so he decides to set a monster. Maybe a hand. Oh no, it's still Dennis's turn. Okay, I thought it was my turn. But you can just tell Dennis is he's kind of upset because I emptinessed him again. One thing that's funny is last time Dennis and I played. Yeah, last time Dennis and I played on camera, it was during Edison format, and I flooded him with like double oppression all three games. So I do decide to excavate, which is a Marshall Leaf. So yeah, I'm guessing. I guess we're forming the chain link. So I decide not to pop his set monster because I don't want it to be a hand. Which is like the only monster he could. I mean, I guess he could set his Flamebell Guard, but I think there's no reason for me to even bother popping it. Because I mean, I'm in full control. I have Hermitry. I have Miracle Fertilizer, which I can abuse now if I can. Okay, so here comes Sylvan Charity. Man, I love this deck, man. It's just, you could just set it up where you just Sylvan Charity your opponent almost every turn. And then Miracle Ferd, and then Soul Charge. This deck's, I think this is one of the best decks in hat format. Sylvans. Eventually, I'm gonna make a tier list for hat format, and yeah, this one's gonna be up there, man. I wouldn't be playing it if I didn't believe it. All right, so here comes Charity and the field spell on top. So now Mount Sylvania, send the green tree to stack the Princess Sprout. So Princess Sprout is good with the red tree because I'm going to excavate the Princess Sprout, draw a card, and then the Princess Sprout is going to special summon itself, and I can make it 7 or 8, whatever I decide to do. And, okay. So I can't normal summon because of... Yeah, so you see here, excavate the Princess Sprout, and then the Princess Sprout will activate. Special summon itself, declare level 1 through 8, and you make it that level. Ooh, and I have Blaster this turn too. Ooh, yeah, it's not looking good for the YCS champ, the Philly champ. What's funny is Dennis won his YCS like 10 years after I won mine, so it's like different eras. Yeah, about 10 years later. So it looks like I'm gonna go for a level 8 XYZ monster with the Princess Sprout and the red tree. So this card is, what am I gonna go for? Alcei? So I do go for Alcei. So this one's, I don't even know exactly how this card works. Basically, you can call the top card of your deck, and if you call it right, it goes to your hand. If you call it wrong, you just excavate it. So that's why you'll see people call like Exodia or Blue Eyes, whatever they want, whatever they know is not on top of their deck. But if you do want the card, you can call it right, and you add it to your hand. So here you see I'm just going to put it back on top of Dennis's deck. His monster, and this is not game, I don't think, but it's a ton of damage. I'm basically trying to get him under Soul Charge. Can I have killed him with Aurea? No, it would. I could have made Aurea here too. Yeah, I could have made Aurea and tried to bounce my Miracle Fert with my XYZ summoning with both of them, but I don't think I could have OTK'd them. And I think I have another Emptiness. That's another reason why I did this play. Yeah, and then I'm just going to set Emptiness and pass. So let's see what Dennis can do. He's at 300. So also he can't crash. This is another reason why I made this play. If the monster he set was a hand, he cannot just ram his hand to wipe my field because he's at 300. So he has to set the hand, and if he sets the hand, I'm just gonna bounce it back to his deck with the Alce, the level 8. XYZ. So let's see. Also, I don't get blown out by Dark Hole by making Draco Sack if Dennis has Dark Hole. Alright, so who's going to move on with a round 2 win? Will Dennis pull off the backdoor 2-0? Does he have the out to my emptiness? Or is it GG? Alright, let's see. Sometimes I forget to excavate for the field spell at the end phase. I'm trying my best to remember. I just forget. I'm not used to playing during my opponent's turn. It's like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like people joke that you play during your opponent's turn. Alright, so here he special summons Tempest, and I flip another Emptiness, and Dennis just throws the handshake. Yeah, he's upset because I double empty. I basically triple Emptiness him. It wasn't really much of a match. Emptiness beats the Soul Charge decks. That's the truth. That's the format. You either play a Soul Charge deck or a Control deck, and cards like Emptiness beat the Soul Charge decks. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that match, and we'll be back soon for the rest of the tournament. Bye, guys.